Hey guys, thought I'd do a quick video for you. I'm using the turtle from Cricut 2, and this is the little, what is he? He's the St. Patrick's Day guy. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to put that together, and then I'll go through the rest of it. So, just grab my glue. This is a very cool cartridge. So, you basically have 1, 2, 3. Let's get that out of the way. 3 main layers, and then you have the hat, which also has 3 layers, and then you just put the hat on the guy. So I'm going to work on that quickly for you. So this initial layer, you just get your glue on, and this is a very good cartridge to have. All the cute critters are my favourite guys. And then you just line these up, and if you pick them up and you just sort of, oh, you can't see that, pick them up and just sort of hold them together like so, then you'll be able to put them together quite easily. I mean, they go together easy, but you know what I mean. And then we have the top of his shell, and you could pop this up with some foam tape if you wanted, just for a bit of dimension. And this, where the lines are, there's some sort of indicator lines as to where you would line these up. So that helps when you're trying to put the images together. It just gives you a little bit of a guide, and shows you where to put them together. Isn't he cute? So now, because Cricut 2 is sort of themed towards different seasons and things like that, if you actually cut the images out, like the little turtle or the bird or the whatever it is, most of the time you're going to be able to use them just like this. So even if you don't have Cricut 1, the original one, you could still, there's a lot of the characters like the little turtle that are in there that you could use for other projects without it being themed specifically for, you know, Valentine's Day or St. Patrick's Day or whatever it is. So now I've got this little guy. Just make sure I put it in the right way. Just going to pop this on. This is the band on the hat. And again, there's little guidelines. You can't see that. Sorry, my lighting's really bad today. There's little guidelines there to stick it on. And then this teeny tiny little thing is the what would you call it? The buckle, maybe, on the little hat. Oops. Just finagle that. Oh, and I finagled the wrong way. Hello. There you go. So there's his hat. So I'm going to, in the Cricut handbook, he does go, his hat goes like that, but you see how you could use that with or without it and then have a completely different thing. Like you don't have to have it themed for this particular time of year, or this theme, or whatever you want to call it. Let's put him about there. That's cute. So there you go. And I can't remember what size I cut this out at, because I have a expression, not an expression, I had an expression, because I have a Explore Air 2, I literally just grabbed some of the images I wanted to use for a couple of cards I want to make for you guys for this. So there'll be, I think there's about 3 so far that I've made. or maybe this is the second one, I don't know what order I'm doing these. And I just pulled these images on and kept them the size they were and just went with it. So yeah, so I don't actually know how big he is. Let's just measure him for you. So he would be about 3 inches, just over 3 inches tall. Actually that's right, yeah, I think most of the images were about 3 inches tall. But bear in mind that if your images are 3 inches tall, doesn't mean that they're going to be 3 inches, because if they're wider, that you might find, because it opens up in proportion, it may be slightly bigger than that, or bigger than you think. So I have a piece of cardstock here, and this is 8 1/4. No, it's not 8 1/4. About 5 1/2, and I scored it at 4 1/8. And then this yellow piece measures 5 1/4. Now what did I say? Let me start again. Oh, I haven't done these videos for a while. So this is 8 1/4, so the width of an A4, by 5 1/2, and then scored at 4 1/8 to give me just a little note card. This piece is 5 1/4 by 3 7/8, because I needed 1/4 of an inch off to get just a nice border. So that's what that is. And then this piece I believe is 2 inches by 5 1/4. So that's going to run along there. But I want to do something to this. So I'm going to bring in, this is a bit old school. Let's see if I can zoom you out. Whee! Excuse my desk. Still working on the angles and the dangle. This is a Cuttlebug, for those of you who don't know what it is. And I have a Cuttlebug folder, and I believe this one is, did I write it on you? This one's called Seeing Spots. It's just a bigger polka dot. Yeah. So I'm going to put my piece of cardstock in there, and hopefully it will sort of fit, or mostly fit. It's not exact, it doesn't matter, it's a handmade card. Right, and then with the Cuttlebug you have an A plate, a B and a B, and you're going to sandwich it between the 2 B's, like so. And then we're going to run it through. And then you will see that you have this cool texture. Isn't that cool? So now we're going to put this together. At last, I hear you say. At last. Let's zoom you in again. Right. So just going to get some adhesive on here. And I'm working kind of from the back, like from the card up. I don't always work like that, but is that the one I want? Yeah. So I'm just going to stick that on there, like so. The nice thing about wet glue is that, wet adhesive, is that you have a little bit of wiggle room to line things up if you need to. So yeah, so that's handy. If you're putting anything that's embossed, you want to make sure you've got enough adhesive on it. So if you're using a dry adhesive, I would suggest putting adhesive on all the way around, and even some in the middle, just so that it doesn't sort of warp and oh, I need to know where this is going. Just so it doesn't warp and get all wiggly, and then it might pop off. Yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to put this on here. I've just got a little gap at the bottom. So before we put this guy on, isn't that cute? I think he's cute. Right, I won't need that adhesive anyway. Right, let's do the stamping. So I have here, this is Lawn Fawn's Happy 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 add-on stamp set. And hello, my cat. And I'm just using the Happy and the St. Patrick's Day. There are dies that come that you can get to go with it, and these two dies will cut out the Happy and the Merry, so that's nice if you want to do that on a card. I'm just going to get this block. So here's a little trick. What you can do is, because these are all made in the same way, if you want to line them up, especially the longer what do you call it, stamps, just line them up on your mat and then just gently move them up till they butt up against each other, and then you should have it somewhat straight. This is me we're talking about, so it may not be. It'll be somewhat straight, and I think I'm just going to put it straight up in this corner. And just to bring in the black that's on his little hat, I'm going to use some VersaFine Onyx Black ink. I actually really love this ink. It's a nice black ink. And even though this is the lid, I've never had any problems with it drying out or anything like that. So it's kind of weird, but nice. And I'm just, try not to lift your stamp while you're stamping down. Could get all blurry. Ta-da! Yep. Bit heavy-handed there, but that's okay. And then he's gonna go there. I'm gonna use dimensionals, pop dots, if I can find any. Maybe I'll use tape today. I found some scissors. That would be useful. Rummage, rummage, rummage. Oh dear. Right, so let's put some here. And then normally I would just use some pop dots, dimensionals, the little foam thingies, but I have this right now, so this is what I'm using. Will that fit in there? Oh, just fits. Oh, that one's not going to fit. It will now. Ugh. So we're nearly finished with this. I'm just going to peel all these off if I can. I've got to say, this tape that I bought it online. It's acid free and all that, but it doesn't peel very well and it doesn't stick very well either. So he might be, you know, popping off at some point. I have to re-glue him. I did stick that the right way, that's good. And then I'm just going to pop him about there, like that. And I'm going to add one more thing. Hold on. So this is Nouveau's glitter drop. Oh, you can't see that, sorry. Nouveau glitter drops. This is White Blizzard. This is a good one because it comes out clear with the glitter in it, and it's very cool. It's very cool for Christmas time as well. So I am going to just put this on his little buckle thing, whatever we said it was. Just like that. Whoops. I've got some in the middle, but it's alright. It'll do. And then when that dries properly, it'll proper sparkle, but you can kind of see the shine on it at the moment. So there you go, quick and easy. I nearly said Halloween. It's not Halloween, Janine. Hello, happy St. Patrick's Day. Now that I have that there, I kind of feel like it needs to be down a bit, but it's still cute. Happy St. Patrick's Day, guys, whenever that is. These are probably going to be up late, knowing me, but these are just ideas for you. Happy crafting. Bye.